So I'm driving real quick, and I had a thought, and my phone was already in the holder because I was doing a Instagram video. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. And if you're not on Instagram, like most lawyers are not, get on Instagram, because in, I don't know, a year, 2 years, Instagram's absolutely going to overtake Facebook. So if you can start using Instagram, and it's really easy. I actually really am starting to get into it because I know it's going to be important in the next couple of years, next coming years. So I'm trying to get used to it. So trying to create stories. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. So if you actually watch my Instagram, you'll see it's kind of you look at Instagram almost as like a reality TV show. So you can do like kind of behind the scenes content every day. So my Facebook group, I post all kinds of stuff to my group. Content, tips, all kinds of stuff like that. Instagram is kind of where my behind the scenes stuff is. But the point of, I kind of got off on a tangent, the point of this video that I was thinking about, I've had a couple of times where clients have called me and they would say the phone's ringing really well, and I said, okay, let's say leading up to this point, the phone was ringing really well. They were getting a lot of phone calls, all kinds of stuff, and they were appearing in the maps. And then what would happen is they'd call me and they'd say, hey, look, the phone's been dead for the last, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks, something like that. What's going on? So I look at their listings, I look at their rankings, I look at everything. Everything's the same. But I found on 2 different cases in the last 6 months, I found this. What happened was the client got a negative review or a series of negative reviews, and what it did is it took them from a high 4 rating to a lower rating. One dropped from a 5 to a 3.7 because they didn't have many reviews. Another one, this is a client that I spoke with, it was either yesterday or the day before. They dropped from a 4.8 to just a 4. They lost an entire star. And it's amazing because in both instances, we can tie the time where their phone stopped ringing to the time when they got that review that dropped them down. It's pretty remarkable. So that's why it's so important for you as a lawyer. Even if you don't have bad reviews, it's so important for you to just keep getting positive reviews and positive reviews, because if everything's going well for you right now, that's great. And like, let's say you have like 3 reviews and they're 5 stars and your entire ranking is a 5-star. Well, the problem is if you have 3 reviews and you got 3 5-star reviews, and then you have one that somebody gets mad, let's say, I mean, and this happens all the time with like personal injury. Everybody thinks they have a personal injury case, and when you say, I'm sorry, you don't have a case, or, I'm sorry, actually, whatever it is, if there's some reason that you can't help them, I mean, look, you're not a miracle worker. You can do what you can do, but not everyone has an injury case. Not everyone is gonna, get the best outcome, whatever. So even if you do your best, even if there's nothing else that you can do, you still can get a negative review. And a lot of times you can also get negative reviews from, like, I see family law attorneys do this happens to all the time. The opposing party will get, you'll do a great job for your client, and then their spouse goes on and then gives you a negative review and screws up all your stuff. So what you need to do is you need to get as many 5-star reviews as possible, and that's going to actually protect you from those negative reviews, because one negative review, if it drops your rating, it can have a devastating impact on your phone calls. It's directly related. We've got 50 some odd clients. I don't even know how many clients we have. We got over 50 clients, and I've been doing this for 6 years, and every single time we had a client who basically they didn't have enough reviews. They went out, they got more reviews than all. What is this guy doing? Oh, it's like a U-turn in the middle of the road. So they have it was a bankruptcy law firm in Chicago. They didn't have enough reviews. I told them, look, you need to go out and get 20 reviews or something like that, whatever it was. They actually listened to me. They went out and did it. The next week was the busiest week their law firm has ever had. So it's just common sense stuff like this. It's like, you've got to pay attention to your reviews. You've got to pay attention to negative reviews. You've got to get positive reviews. Even if you don't have any negative reviews, you need to get positive reviews to protect yourself from if you get a negative review. So just a quick little PSA, running in to grab some acupuncture real quick. I don't know if you remember, I hurt my back a few weeks ago. By the way, if you haven't done acupuncture, you should really try it. It's really interesting. I don't know if it's a placebo or what it is, but it seemed to fix me right away. And I had never had acupuncture before. before. Somebody recommended it to me. I've had back problems for a while, and somebody recommended acupuncture to me because my chiropractor retired, so I actually didn't even have a chiropractor. And normally what I would do before is I would go to the chiropractor and it would take 2-3 weeks and I'd be good as new. Acupuncture, it's like 2 sessions and I'm perfectly fine again. And now basically I'm going to kind of strengthen some things and, you know, make it so it doesn't happen again. So anyway, off on a tangent. Acupuncture is not the point of this video, but you know, hey, maybe that'll help you too. All right, guys, see you later.